this intern company there for quite a few years. And that was an amazing, wonderful experience. And that's really sort of where, I guess, my desire to help people audition came from, because I would go all across the country. I saw over 3,000 people audition in a very short amount of time. And, you know, you do that for several years and you sort of start to see trends of things that people do. And some that are great and some that are really unfortunate. I've been coming back to Kentucky several years to work with the high school students in the program that Trish and Ellie started, which I love doing. So that's a little bit about me and why I'm here and what I do. Ed?
Okay. I have known both these people since I was born. I have worked with both of them since I was born. I grew up in Kentucky. I went to Paul Laurence Dunbar. I went to University of Kentucky, graduated with a BFA. That was when they still had a BFA program. Now it's a BA, as I'm sure some of you know. From there, I went to Actors Theater of Louisville, did the year-round apprenticeship with this lovely woman. And then I went straight to New York, and I've been living in New York for about 7 years. I think I'm on the opposite side of them. They're watching a lot of auditions. I'm doing a lot of auditions. I've had the opportunity to audition for commercials, for films, for theater, regional, and New York City-based theater, student films, independent films, different stuff. I've had a lot of experiences. I've had and heard a lot of opinions about my work, about other people's work, about what kind of work you should be doing, shouldn't be doing. And then I come back here every summer to work with you guys because I believe that there's a lot of talent in this region. I meet people at least once a month that are in Kentucky, that are actors that have come from here. It's kind of crazy the amount of people who have come through Actors Theater of Louisville. We do have a major city theater in Kentucky. Which, when you're from Kentucky, you might underestimate its power, but I've gotten into more auditions because of my year at Actors Theater of Louisville than anything else. Just because they were an apprentice like 20 years earlier. And they're like, oh, we read you're an apprentice, so we wanted to see you. So a lot of connections you can get just from being here, more than one might think. I'm a strong believer that watching other people work as well as working yourself is the best way to learn. When I'm up working, my vision narrows completely compared to when I'm sitting out watching other people work. All of a sudden I have a million ideas, I have a million thoughts. When I'm working, I'm like, I don't know who this character is, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I don't know how to audition. When I'm sitting out, I have all kinds of information. So I think watching and learning as well as doing and learning are both beneficial. And I think you should know now that stealing from other people is a great way to find monologues, because they're hard to find, they're not fun to find, and when you find a jewel or something that works for you, you're in the money. It's really good. So I think it's beneficial for everybody to get to see everyone work and hear feedback. And I think it's important that you all learn to watch monologues too and have your own opinions about monologues and what does work and doesn't work, and remind yourself of that. But just a few rules that I try to follow. I think auditioning is very hard and I dread it, as Mr. Farrell was saying here. But I read a lot of scripts. I often go to Sully, I often go to people and say, what playwrights do you think I should be reading? What scripts do you think I should be looking at? I hate to say, give me a monologue, even though I've said it before. But unfortunately, if I have to go to a monologue book, the one thing I do if I flip through a play and find a monologue, or if I find a monologue in a monologue book, what's the first thing I should do? Read the play. And I thought even all through college that I could get away with it, and I had one of the most embarrassing moments of my life when someone asked me something about the play, and they were like, have you read the play? And I was like, no. Then how are you doing a monologue from the play? You will be embarrassed, and if you get away with it for a long time, there will be a point where you will be embarrassed. I can guarantee you that. Very important to read the play always. If you find it in a monologue book, the best place to call is New Dramatists in New York City. The people who work there, just fountain of knowledge. You can give them a character, and they can probably name 10 plays that have a character by that name. They can find any play for you or give you a place to go. You call them, and they'll spend time on the phone with you looking for it. My mom's called looking for kids for plays for young people. They gave her just tons of information. They're really great there. So you always read the play. Always read the play. Second rule of thumb when you're walking into audition room, you never look at the person you're auditioning for. You always put the character you're communicating when you're delivering your monologue. Never forget to look at them. Hello. Hello.
If they say hello,
Sorry.
you want to immediately turn.
You want to walk out of the
Do not acknowledge anybody's in the room with you.